Hello and welcome to the first episode of Hollywood Underwater. Yes, where we take a look at anything that has anything to do with filmmaking underwater. My name is Oscar, and we're going to get started here by this first headline. 7,500 producer Augenschein lines up English language deep sea thriller, The Dive. The thriller is being pitched in the vein of 127 Hours. If you remember 127 Hours, that was James Franco who played, and I actually have that popped up here, Aaron Ralston, who had to keep himself alive for 6 days when he got trapped in a canyon. This is something in that similar vein. It says that two sisters who go diving, one of them gets gets struck by a rock from a landslide above the water, leaving her trapped on the seabed 28 meters below. With dangerously low levels of oxygen and cold temperatures, it is up to her sister to fight for her life, which in turn puts her own life in jeopardy. So, the one thing about underwater stories, especially these suspense thrillers, is that you always have a very limited amount of time. For instance, in 47 meters down, this one, what was it, 28 meters down? If you're stuck anywhere below the surface, you only have so much time because you're reliant upon a air supply. Now, the shoot is slated for the first quarter of 2021 and to be shot in Sardinia and Germany. The search for the two female leads is underway. So the interesting thing here, however, is this. As I was looking at this, I said, okay, cool. This is another fun suspenseful movie underwater. But then I took a look at the commentary below, and we have two entries here which I didn't know about. So Lamb Silencer here says this is obviously an English language remake of the Swedish-Norwegian movie Breaking Surface from Joaquin Heden. Sorry if I mangled that. Deep Sea Diver then goes on to say, true, sounds just like the Norwegian film. Weird that it's not mentioned here. Breaking Surface? Maybe it's an old film that this is based on or something. At least that's what I thought. I went over to IMDb, and sure enough, there it is, Breaking Surface, to be released. It is not 15th. The 15th of December has not arrived yet, 2020. So this is coming soon. And here's the log line. A winter diving trip in Norway turns into a desperate race against time for two sisters when one of them becomes trapped at the bottom of the ocean by falling rocks. All right, so I thought to myself, well, maybe is this a mix-up? No, it's not a mix-up. These are two different production companies with two different movies that are coming out, which seem to have the same log line. I don't know. Maybe there's some kind of work here going. The only thing that I could figure out that if you go back to the original announcement for The Dive, it does say, that this is an English language survival movie, The Dive, and Breaking Surface is in Norwegian. So perhaps they're just doing this because they see that this is actually a really good film. Maybe with the previews and the screenings, that they think that they're going to do well, and so maybe they are associated somewhere based on the same script or not. Who knows? Thing is, I don't really care. I think that these are really good stories, and they look really cool, and I think that it would be worth having two of these different films. Now, the reason I say that they're really interesting to look at now, especially, is I'm going to go to this review from Cine Europa here, where it talks about that the film was shot in the evocative freezing waters of the Norwegian Lofoten Islands and the tremendous reservoir or tank housed within Belgium's Lights Film Studio. I'm not sure if I'm saying Lights correctly, but what's interesting about that is, let me show you as we go over to the water stage page on the Lights website. And self-acclaimed the most advanced interior water stage in the world. It holds 6 million liters of warm water with a standard 30 degrees Celsius. And for those of us who need to do the translation here, that's 86 degrees Fahrenheit. It also has water effects with waves up to 1 meter or 3 feet, dumped tanks with 18 tons of water, remote controlled water cannons, rain and water-based mist, wind. I mean, this is absolutely amazing. I looked it up. This studio is only a few years old, and look at these images here. Here's your shooter with this amazing image coming from above. Here you have your rain. You have your camera on a jib here, on a remote control a jib, and you have your waves and another underwater shot. Here's a few shots of the set, what they look like when they're filming. Absolutely fascinating. I love it. And this is definitely something that I will do a deep dive into later, and just maybe even a separate episode just on these tanks where underwater filmmaking takes place. Looks very cool. Looks very, very cool. And here is the trailer. So we will play just a tad bit of Breaking Surface, not The Dive. Remember, The Dive is the original movie that I just opened up with, in which they're starting production soon. And this is Breaking Surface, which is going to be released shortly. And I will scroll through till we get to the parts in the trailer where they show us a majority of the underwater stuff. You know what's so good about these films now is just that look. I mean, just that one, right? They're filming in these amazing underwater tanks over in Belgium, and it just looks fantastic. So I'm definitely looking forward to both Breaking Surface, which is going to be released shortly. It doesn't have where just yet, so I'll bring you that as soon as I find out. And then when The Dive gets made, English language version of what seems to be perhaps the same film will get released, and we'll definitely be excited to take a look at The Dive also. Before I go, just one more piece of news for another production called Dive Club. So production commences on new teen drama Dive Club for Netflix and Channel 10. The 12-episode series is the latest project from the Steve Jaggy Company and the fourth production taken under the company during the global COVID-19 pandemic. People working, people got to work, and they have apparently done successfully. So it will have a Netflix worldwide release in 2021. And the story is of 16-year-olds Maddie, Lauren, Anna, and Stevie. On the surface, they're regular teenagers navigating life, friendship, and romance, but under the water, the skilled divers enter a whole new world of adventure. That is cool. I am really looking forward to this one, actually. I hope that they release behind-the-scenes production stills, and I will try to bring you some of that, but I'm definitely looking forward to Dive Club. So that is today's news on Hollywood Underwater. Please join me again. Thanks for watching.